Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Wake Up Report. And I did a couple of shows. If you haven't checked them out, I encourage you to check them out. I call them Nation of Savages. Reason for the title being that these were crimes that were what I considered so heinous that you could only describe the people that committed them as savage. But this story, woo, man, welcome to Nation of Savages 3. Omar Peddington, 31, of California, has been arrested for the murder of his mother. According to police, Mr. Peddington took a tomahawk during a dispute with his mother, shot her at least 7 times, and then took the tomahawk, cut his mother's chest open, pulled her heart out of her chest, put her heart back into her body, and then masturbated after this event. His reason to the police was he needed to be with himself and needed a release after the event. I don't get riled too much. You read these stories and especially when you got a report on them, you read them and you say, let me go ahead, let me talk about this, let me get what's on my chest, off my chest about this. But man, what in the fuck is wrong with black men? What the fuck is wrong with us? And not me. There ain't no way in the world I would even conceive of doing something like this to anyone, let alone the person who brought me into this world. We got some serious issues that we need to deal with. I'm expecting the Black Lives Matters people to have something to say about this, but we know they're not going to say anything about this, so let's move on. Anyway, according to the report that I read, Mr. Peddington was upset at his mother because of her apparent addiction to pain medication after a hip and a knee injury. He got into an argument with his mother, I'm assuming in her house. So the argument resulted in the mother, I guess, pulling a gun on her son. He apparently knocked the gun out of her hand. He left the room and he came back. I'm assuming that's when he took the tomahawk, as the tomahawk was hanging on the wall. Took the tomahawk off the wall. I guess he struck his mother in the head hard enough to knock her down. Got a hold of the gun, shot her multiple times. That wasn't enough. Takes the tomahawk, and according to police, she was disemboweled, noting that she had been cut from her neck down to her cervix. And man, what do you say about this? And I guess it's not so much the deed. Well, I mean, it is the deed, but after the deed was done, this man, Mr. Peddington, I'm assuming that he cleaned up. He left the home, had a few beers with some friends, and booked an airline ticket for Chicago. Why am I not surprised that he went to Chicago? Did not show any remorse. Said that it felt good that he murdered and chopped up his own mother. The police made the discovery after her ex-husband, I guess, called the police because they wanted to. He wanted them to do I guess what they call a wellness check on her to make sure she was okay. And that's when they discovered, if you've ever seen the opening for the movie The Shining, I guess there was that much blood in the bedroom. Needless to say, this man was he was caught, he was arrested, and of course, your usual family members, expressed shock. And of course, again, he was a quiet guy. He was a nice guy. We just didn't expect anything like this would happen from this person. I had said that black women need to have that black woman summit in regards to their attitudes, and I'm gonna strike that. We need a black people summit. Period. There's something wrong with us. There was a time when we just didn't behave like this. It is debatable and it is arguable as to whether or not we had our acts together more so during slavery and the lynching era and just the whole era that forced us to act as a group of people, forced us to act on behalf of not only yourself as a black person, but the other ones coming up behind you, because there was just seemingly no end to the brutality and the violence that was being visited upon you by someone else. But, my oh my, have we learned from the people who brutalized us. This is beyond, for me, explanation. I'm just at a loss. I really am. It's for somebody to exact this kind of violence on their mother. Maybe if this was somebody who raped your mother or raped your sister or did something like that, you just went berserk and you grabbed a tomahawk or a lead pipe or something and just beat the person to a bloody pulp, then yeah, maybe I could understand that. But how in the world do you stand in front of your mother and you stand in front of the person who was partly responsible? Your father had something to do with it too. Brought you into this world, wiped your ass, made sure you were fed, made sure you were educated to the best of her abilities. This woman she was a teacher. I'm assuming provided you with some sort of stable upbringing, and this is how you repay your mother. This is how you repay somebody that could have aborted you, put you up for adoption, murdered you, all kinds of horrible things. And this woman was 64 years old. This man was 31 years old. I believe that puts him, I think, at about 1984 when he was born, somewhere around there. So, my formula of the, most of this dysfunction happening about 1994 on up. Well, you kind of shattered that theory right there, man, because what are we becoming? And this is just absolutely, I'm speechless. I normally have a go get 'em commentary for this, but I have never read something so brutal and so despicable. This is what they used to do to us during the lynch era. You talk about some heinous stuff. This exceeds damn near. All he had to do is set her on fire, and that pretty much would have put him up there with the with the lynch mobs and the people used to set us on fire and all kinds of horrible stuff, like used to cut off our body parts for souvenirs. You cut your mother's heart out of her chest, and what did you do with it after you cut it? Then you put it back in and you go have drinks with your friends. After this, man, there isn't a place in hell hot enough. There isn't a place in hell deep enough. The devil is probably going, son of a bitch. All you can hope, and which, may sound absolutely crazy. God have mercy on your soul. God have mercy on all of us, because if this man is any indication of where black people are headed in the future, show me the direction they're going in, so I can go to hell in the opposite direction and keep on going. This is KTM in the Wake Up Report saying, think a little bit. Go tell your mama you love her. It may do wonders for you.